right, are we live yet? Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we are live yet. OBS is giving me some problems. Let's see here. Alrighty, cat fight. Let the hair pulling begin! Yes. Yes, these Christian gals are ready to have at it, and I actually thought this day would not come between Erika Kirk and Candace Owens, but I guess Candace Owens has finally stepped on enough toes to get Erika Kirk to respond. And at this point, you know, a couple months ago, immediately after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I had sympathy for Erika Kirk, but seeing how she has behaved and acted after her husband was assassinated, and what has come out about her, I have a lot of doubts about Erika Kirk and her sincerity and her behavior, and definitely the way she's been dressing. I don't expect her to dress like a grieving widow of the Victorian era, but she's definitely has some interesting outfit choices and definitely some interesting body language, especially with JD Vance. That's kind of, a lot of people are raising their eyebrows at that. And I did a video a couple months ago because she had a lot of concerns that before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that she had a Catholic priest pray over Charlie because she heard some Etsy witches were going to curse or had cursed Charlie Kirk. Well, yeah, as far as that goes, that my feelings were in the video, but long story short, you actually have to know what you're doing in order to curse somebody, and the prices for hexing and cursing on Etsy are not indicative of an actual hex or curse being performed. You actually have to do it the right way, and doing it cheap, no, it's not actually being done. But let's see what's going on in the chat. Yeah, she's moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky, that's for sure. That is her behavior. I mean, how much money TPUSA has gotten after Kirk was assassinated. Yeah, she'll bring a friend to your funeral. Oh boy. You gotta use bird poo, for curses and hexes. Well, me knowing Rune, Magick, and Galder, I've got my own ways and means of hexing and cursing, and I wouldn't sell that for cheap on Etsy, that's for sure. But yeah, so Erika Kirk is currently promoting her husband's last book. You know, gotta milk that money. And as far as Charlie Kirk goes, I've been thinking today about what he had to say about pagans and how they don't value human life. He said that at the beginning of the Pagan Threat book, written by Lucas Miles, which was he's, you know, the head of TPUSA Faith. And for Charlie Kirk to say that pagans don't value life, I'm kind of thinking about that after his death, his assassination, and how many pagans were disturbed by the assassination and how, you know, gave their sympathies. But during life, yeah, it was very disappointing to think that's how he thought of pagans, that they don't value human life. Very disturbing. But anyway, let's get into the video here. We are going to be taking a look at some videos of these interviews that have been going around. This first one, let me just adjust the volume here.
Call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going
Well, yeah, how much money are you getting from Israel?
after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this? No.
You know, they're in on this. We have a lot of questions. The American public has a lot of questions. It's not just conservatives. It's, you know, everybody else of, why is Turning Point so big? What happened? Why are they getting so much money? Why do they have so much influence? It's kind of creepy. Because I hardly paid attention to Charlie Kirk. I mean, I saw an interview here or there prior, but I really didn't pay much attention to it. But realizing how big Turning Point is, it's kind of disturbing.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because
Righteous anger. I've always heard Christians say that. And when they say that, that's the moment when they start to act the dumbest. Uh, yeah, the Christians will say, I've heard a Christian say, there's anger and then there's righteous anger. And it's just like, what do you mean by righteous anger? You know, and the guy was like, well, you know, anger for God. And okay, yeah. And that was an evangelical guy that went to a mega church, non-denominational, which pretty much means it's evangelical. But yeah, the whole righteous anger with Christians just means that they're in their stupidest phase there.
this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus.
A mind virus. You say that being a Christian. That's hilarious because Christianity can't be described as a mind virus because you're worshiping that Christian Christ egregore. And once you tap into that through prayer, you get attached to it and it's infectious. You know, it's like a disease. It is, you know, a disease, a virus. And does the virus really die? No, you have to build up an antibody to it. And I suggest paganism. That's a pretty good one. It'll help purge your body of it. And it's actually free. You don't have to pay a huge copay for paganism.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system.
Did you hear that slip of the tongue there?
I do. We have a hell of a team working on this, excuse my French. But this is not okay.
A hell of a team, excuse my French. She's trying to be a good Christian girl here, but really, I can tell by the type of woman she is, that she presents herself as, that she is a foul-mouthed woman.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it.
You know, not to sound like a competition, but as a pagan, when you first come out as a pagan, and my husband and I used to have a pagan store where he did his tarot and astrology readings, and we sold, you know, books, incense, crystals, statues. We hosted, you know, circles and rituals, and we taught. We would get threats, and he would get threats, and he's 6'3", and we weren't really doing YouTube too much. And what are you saying here, Erika? Are you saying that once you're a big, powerful Christian, you start getting these threats? But when you're a little pagan presence in a small town, yeah, you're gonna get threats. Christians, they don't equate that. They don't understand. You know, they say they're victimized, that they're the victim. But Christians have to get big in order to get these threats. Pagans, just open up a store anywhere, and you'll get the anger of Christians around you. You'll get the hatred. And why I brought up my husband's height in this is that, yeah, he's 6'3". He had little Christian women coming up to him and threatening him, shaking a Bible in his face. And yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous the way they behaved. And he even got a threat, somebody was going to burn down the store. And I had to, go and increase our store insurance because of that, our business insurance. And I went to our business insurance at the time, I think it was through State Farm. And because we were doing tarot readings, they declined our service, the insurance coverage, rather. And so I had to go hunt for new insurance coverage because we were doing tarot readings and astrology readings. And luckily, there was a local insurance company that knew us, that was kind enough to give us the insurance coverage that we needed. But it's just, there's actual discrimination going on against pagans. And these Christians, they love to claim discrimination, but really, they have the red carpet rolled out for them at all times. Erika Kirk has the red carpet rolled out for her at all times, even before her husband's death. She's had so many opportunities, and this is grifting on her end.
And my poor team is exhausted, and every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why?
Yeah, I do agree. It was traumatic. But I do not believe the FBI narrative, the mainstream narrative, that it was that boy that was involved with furries with a 30-06. And somebody did a ballistics test a while back on a gel dummy, and it just completely removed, or like almost completely removed, the head from the neck on a 30-06, or with one. And it was just, it was something else.
Every single day, did they have to be dragged through the...
That's the baby Fundy voice. The soft, every single day. Every single day. That's the baby Fundy voice that they train these Christian women to have. It's very common in Mormonism, and it's common in evangelical Christianity and the Zionist Christianity for women to have this soft, childlike voice, to seem demure and non-abrasive, innocent and sweet. That's the baby Fundy voice. And it's not their real voice.
The mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed.
Well, you deserve to be hyper-analyzed because of what your TPUSA is doing. We're not getting the answers that we want from either TPUSA or the FBI.
Conspiracies that are out there, all of the like. Do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what, the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care.
Well, yeah, you showed up to your husband's memorial in as much bling as you could. You're supposed to, if you're going to a funeral, there's a certain dress code, or a memorial, there's a dress code. And her manners and her mannerisms during that entire thing was just bad acting. And I'm going to check on the comments here, because I think somebody just made the comment of bad acting. Yes, it was bad acting. Yeah, rational focusism. Yeah, Christianity is like herpes. Yes. So yeah, it's in the antiviral class. Acyclovir. Yes. Alrighty. Yes. There's a church in every block in my town, not exaggerating. They hate one another too. Exactly, yeah. I've been in towns like that, and I've lived in towns like that, and our little town here. Let's see here. There's a church here, church over there, and there's a church over there. And then there's one church over there that was repurposed into a house, which is kind of cool. I do like to see Christian churches closed down and repurposed into something else. Uh, but yeah, there are churches all over the place. I mean, really, why they always like to cry about that.
I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you.
Well, remember, you know, y'all are putting yourself in the spotlight, and I'm aware that I do put myself in the spotlight as well. I don't have as big as an audience, but yeah, you got to expect that with the territory, because, you know, people have, they like to run their mouths, of course. It's just part of the game. Of course, she is indirectly talking about Candace Owens with the conspiracy theories. And let's see what Candace had to say.
That's fine. Now, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars, I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, that doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. You know, like, you know, they made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn.
That's insane. That's insane. If you've ever tried to raise money before for anything, it is difficult. But that amount of money, that just doesn't come from just asking, oh, nice people, hey, you mind, hey, we got this thing going on. Could you give us, you know, maybe spare a couple of dollars, $5 here, $10 here, please, we'd really appreciate it. You know, it's tax deductible, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, into the millions? Whew.
Aren't you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed, and the very obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us? Gosh darn you. Did you make $1,000 today speaking about Charlie Kirk? Well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA, who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination. And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. You know, like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique, because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right?
Oh, I'm going to critique them all right. They came after pagans. Yeah, I'm going to critique the shit out of you. If you come after pagans, yeah, that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile, trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my. Don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization, and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions.
Right, yeah, and a Christian woman is not equipped to handle this. She almost has to shed that Christian part of herself because Christianity pulls out the worst behavior in everybody, not just women, but men as well. You know, a pagan woman, uh, or, you know, a woman that believes in astrology is going to do a lot better, you know, in terms of knowing what's wrong, knowing how to fix it, looking at things objectively, um, especially if a woman just, you know, isn't worshiping gods or goddesses of love, but if they start actually taking femininity seriously, like certain, you know, warrior goddesses or goddesses of magic, say Isis, Aset, Sekhmet, um, and also Freya is a very good example if you follow her warrior, war maiden aspect, not just this love and light, love aspect. It's not good for business. You want to tap into that money mindset, and you can also do that with, you know, it's not just women are not just limited to worshiping goddesses. We can worship gods as well. You know, if I'm looking into money and finance, I am going to ask gods like Thoth for help, or I am going to ask Horus or Bast for help, or gods of fertility of the Norse pantheon. Freya is a great one to work with, as well as Freya, for any type of, you know, money issues, fertility, because money works into fertility. You know, you're growing your business. But let's get back into it.
Okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to like mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids, so you can't critique them. Not a good idea. Okay, it may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll so I could help them make these things look more organic than having every single person.
Her saying that kind of makes me suspicious of everything that she does, you know, because I know she's been accused of emotional manipulation, and everything that's going on between TPUSA, Candace Owens, and even Tim Pool, you know, some of it might be organic, some of it might be scripted, because I'm starting to think everything's starting to get to this scripted point where they're shedding an old skin of what was the conservative part of America and putting on a new one. And what that is, we're just going to have to see, because it's acting very quickly and at the end of the year. It's very telling, and we're going to see how that manifests.
Person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, whoa, Erika Kirk shuts down the No, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion. She gave us emotion. She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman. And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th. A CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family. Okay, that's the energy of what I would expect from a mother speaking to a teacher, which I was this mom, like, that's my kid, okay? And I'll shut this down right now. That's my child. This is not a child. Turning Point USA is an organization, and Erika already had an uphill.
Yeah, TPUSA is an organization. It's money. It's also involved with a lot of evil people. And I'm actually thinking that she's just put there because she's a prop. She's not the brains behind the operation at all. That much is obvious. Erika Kirk is a prop for the Zionists right now.
Battle to climb, like that she had to climb this because, by the way, just because if this was Goldman Sachs and the president of Goldman Sachs or managing director over at Goldman Sachs died in a horrifically violent way, the Goldman Sachs family might mourn for a couple of months, but they would have instantly had someone to replace that individual. And beyond that, they would have never accepted the public and the people that are investing money. They would have never accepted, well, he's gone, but here's his wife. She already had a hill to climb here, right? Like, this does not make you qualified because you love someone to take on their job. I am not qualified to do what my husband does. That's why I said I wouldn't want to be the CEO and the chairman of a company. Actually, there's a great clip of Jordan Peterson asking that very question, like, why do women want to be? Like, why would you want to have? It's actually a lot of work, and it's very stressful, and it's a lot of numbers, and you're crunching numbers, and you have to be everywhere, okay? If you want that, great.
Yeah, if you're not, like, acclimated to it, even, say it's not a woman and it's a man, and the woman was the CEO, and the man has to take over, you still have to get acclimated to what's going on in the business unless, you were already in the business prior and you know what's going on. It's a lot to take in.
If you built the company and you're in the room, like Charlie Kirk did, and you have proven to the public, like, hey, I built this company, I didn't even go to college, and I've been doing this for over a decade, as Charlie Kirk did, you've earned that street cred, okay? So she already had a hill to climb because now they're saying, well, this is his wife, and so, that's it. Well, now you're going to have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman and not just a wife who we...
Right, exactly. I mean, all of this is just pointing to what is going on with this whole Erika Kirk thing. It's very suspicious, and I'm not sure if this is the same.
Come after me.
Yeah, this is the same one. I just have them lined up when I do lives, but yeah, this is all just pointing to what is going on with this TPUSA thing, and why are we seeing all this funny activity with it? Because this is all really a manipulation of the media, because the media is online now. It's no longer mass-produced TV shows that we're seeing. We're seeing it, happen day by day, minute by minute, online, on X, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So they had to move fast, and I can tell that they've conditioned Erika a little differently. MK Ultra definitely, or some MK Ultra-esque, where they've conditioned her to have certain things to say. And you've got to remember that, she was doing these missions, Christian missions in other countries. And they do train these missionaries on what to say and what to do. And they have a script to follow. So it's very much, an easy thing to do to somebody that's already used to following a script is to give them a new script. And they've got this new script that they have to follow. And yeah, they'll just go ahead and follow that. And her children are going to be taken care of, very well taken care of. She's going to continue to face scrutiny until TPUSA completely falls apart, because it's not going to stay, together. Not with the way Candace Owens is going after it. She's going after it to destroy it at this point. That's pretty much obvious, and it's entertaining to see on my part, because of what TPUSA has done to the pagan community, coming after us in various ways, including a published book that ended up being a New York Times bestseller, Pagan Threat by Lucas Miles. having that out, does damage to the pagan community, in that we have to deal with that now. It's not just, we get hate online. We've got a fresh new coat of harassment coming our way, and I'm going to be making a video here in a couple of days about these 1,080 pastors that were sent over to Israel to be educated on Zionism and what they want these pastors to be preaching to their Christian faith, their Christian congregates. So we have that to keep an eye out for as they try to relaunch some sort of satanic panic, which I'm sure that they're going to do at this point. It's something to keep an eye on. But anyway, thank you all so much for dropping by. I hope this was a fun live, and I'm going to take in a break from lives for a couple of days and be coming back on Monday. But yeah, until next time, blessed be.